Hey YouTube, I promised to show you when I was going to splice these mats together that I made. I finally got them all made. I've got 6 mats. I've got these 3 with the deep groove, like so. And then I've got the other 3, which I will cut to 1, but they're just a real fine little groove in it that's really nice for catching really fine gold. It's really good stuff. So today it happened to be 21 degrees this morning when we got up, and the wind was at like 25 miles an hour. And it's now up to 36 and it's still at 20 miles an hour. So 36 isn't bad. I can work out in 36, but when the wind's blowing at 20, you know, I'm in Arizona. I don't want to. So anyhow, I'm going to get some stuff together and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so what you see here is basically all you need to seam these. If you look here, that's the caulking I used from making the last mats, and that's why the big end on it here. It's you have to pump it all out. So what we're going to do is take the Dawn, as you can see that bottle of Dawn back there in the back, right there. Okay. And I've got my first mat pushed into where it needs to go. So we're going to take some Dawn soap. Let's put a little bit on our, we'll just dump some in here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to smear this together where these mats are going to join. That'll just make it easy to get the silicone out of here when we actually push them together. So you want to get them kind of where they're going to go. I even go up on the sides a little bit with this. Now you can probably use like a cooking spray and to seam them, or like I'm using this from Dawn. And now what we're going to do is get these close. Like my friend Alan Robertson says, about 1/8 of an inch. Then we're going to take some silicone. Probably should have the other 2, but we're going to make this work. And we're going to squirt her in there. Thank you. And then we're going to smooth this out. Like that. No problem there. So then we just push them together. Push that glue together so it comes out. And it's good to have a rag near, because this, like I've done in most of the other videos on this stuff, I get it everywhere. So there is almost one. You want to get it fairly squared and pushed down in there. So that's one. Now the other one's right here, ready to go also. So you do the same thing, just a little Dawn dish soap. Doesn't take much. Let's see what you're seeing there. Can you see that? Yes, you can. All right. So we take that, lift this up just a little bit, and we get it back underneath there. And you can be generous with this. You don't need to mess with it much. Just get it back where it's going to be underneath it. And get your mat in there where it's close. Like I said, about 1/8 of an inch seems to be the magic number. And then we'll just squirt this guy in here again. Now these I pre-trimmed a little bit. just because when you put these in a mold, they have a tendency to have a little bit of ears on them or something, you know. Now we're going to push them together. There we go. I have these screws that hold these legs together here, and they're right where I go to make a seam, which is okay because that will help hold these mats in. And I might do like Ellen does. She says he puts some real thin carpet underneath these, and that'll keep them from sliding once you get a lot of pressure. And that's why, you know, I'm doing this layout is a special layout just for this machine, because this is the real heavy riffle in them. You get down here, it's the fine, but I'm running a 3,500 gallon an hour pump up here on a slick plate that's going to come down here pretty hard, and it'll have a tendency to want to push this mat. So these screws right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, will help hold the upper in place. Then when we start gluing these others in, you know, that'll do the same. So I may end up, see, my one mat's going to be just a little teeny bit longer than it needs to be, and that's what this one here. Let's see, it's going to be probably 2 inches too long, so I'll end up cutting him off there, which is fine, it doesn't hurt anything when I glue these together. But that's basically pretty much all there is to seaming these, and I'll let these sit and dry. I might put a heat gun on it and try to cure a little bit quicker, but that's it. Reposition the camera to get this one, so I'm going to shoot from this angle, and I guess you can see here. So it's going to be the same way. I'll end up moving this one up, and I won't seam this last seam here. I'll seam this last, and I'll do these two, and then cut the third one down and get it in here. But this is the different mat, but it, you know, it's going to be the same kind of deal here. It's we just put a little bit of Dawn down and get it up there and get it up on the side. The same here. Alrighty. So we just slide this into it's about 1/8, same as the other one. Now this one will be just a little bit different because it's such a fine little line that we got to work. So it'll be the same procedure. So now we got this big blob here that I got to get out and get something done with it. Like so. Like so. We're going to push them together like that. And just take the excess out. This will have a little bit more excess because of the fine little riffle that it is. But we'll do fine here. That's as simple as that is. Now the back side is going to have a little bit on it, and you know, that's not a problem. There's a lot of ways to get that off the back, and once this dries, and I get to it, I'll show you. But for right now, that's how that's going to go together. So I won't show you the next one because I've got to cut it down and do some measuring. But we'll shut this off. All right, one final step here that I'm doing on these lower ones, and I'm not going to do it on the upper ones because they're such a coarse mat. But this is the mold that we use to make this silicone matting. So if I just take this and I press it down in like I did here, the lines remain, so they'll be the same. And we'll go here and we'll do the same. Get it lined up and just squeeze it down in there. And it should, if I can get it out of there, yep. So there we still have our lines, and you can see there's a little bit on here, but that comes off. So now we got the lines back in it, and it'll take a little work after it's done to get things smoothed out a little bit, but that's just what I wanted to show you there. And this will be done. I'm using the heat gun on it now. I don't think I need to show you that, or yeah, maybe I will. So using the heat gun, you don't want to get it real close to what you're doing. So stay away from it. And I heat up the aluminum on both sides and heat up some of the bottom. You got this real fast, go back and forth, and give this time to set. Let's heat up the sides, heat up the seam, just keep it heating it the whole way. And I'll do the same here. Now this seam isn't done yet, and when I get these where they're set, then I'll slide this together and I'll do that last seam. But this one down here takes a little longer because of the fine grooves. The little pieces you see flying off are just little pieces of silicone. So that's about all there is to that. So I guess the last thing for you to see is me taking this apart and getting it out of here. I'll show you how good it is. Then I'll probably do a little bit of sealing on the back just to make sure everything's good and solid. So that's how that works, and we'll be on to the next step. Okay guys, that's the final seam right there. That's the dark, heavy riffled mat right here, and the low mat. So it's a little bit different gluing them up, but it's going to work fine. So the next time you see this, it'll be in the wash plant. So I think we're going to call this one good so we don't get too long of a video going, because you guys won't watch it if it's too long. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something from it, and keep watching for more videos, because there's going to be more. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, I decided to continue this. I let this set overnight, and if you look here at this seam, I mean, you can't even, other than the color, you can't tell the difference. Here's another seam, same way. This one here has a little bit on it, but we'll take care of that. They all turned out good, and I mean, as you can see, it's not falling apart or nothing. And the other good thing, let me see if I can show you this real quick. Just be a little short ad to it. As you can see, I hope you can see, if I don't get myself in the way here, that right here and right here, this is where I put the soap. Look at this. That just wipes right out of the bottom. Not a problem. Nothing stuck there. The only place I have anything stick is right where I didn't get it off, like right here on the side, right there, and right here a little bit, and where I didn't get the soap on it. But everywhere else, man, it just comes right off. That's incredible. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to do a short clip to show you how this came out. I'm going to hook it together now to the sluice, and then put it in the wash plant and see how it looks. All right, I got this mounted in the box again. It's just a case of putting it in and sliding it up. And something I found is, man, you can't hardly move this trying to slide it, but I am going to put a little catch on the end of sluice here to hold that in place. But wow, it sticks really good. And boy, I'd really like to take credit for all this, but actually this is Alan Robertson's invention, and I give him all the credit for it. He showed how to make these, and we did the deal with the molds, and then he just showed how to seam them, and some little tips, you know, like the soap underneath the seams here, and like when you put this in, if you put a real thin carpet underneath the rubber, the silicone here, that it will keep it from sliding. It's easy. And I'm going to try putting a little clip here on the end where it doesn't slide, it can't go past it, and we'll see how that works. So anyhow, thank you, Alan, for some more good tips, and I'll pass them on to anybody, and anybody who wants to get a hold of Alan or myself on these and you want to make your own mats, we'll give you all the help we can. All right, one little final thing that I've done to this sluice is I decided, because I'm flowing so much water with that 3500 pump, that it may, over time, as I build up material in the box, it may start trying to pull this mat. So this is all I did. Right there is I put this little tab right at the end. There it is. Right there. And this is about the same height, and it's pretty close to being centered here. But I just peened over the rivets so it doesn't stick the mat up in the air. But it's just a little tab here so that when this is in, it'll keep it from sliding. And you know, if gold gets this far, I'm going to lose it anyhow, so this isn't going to hold back anything. And it's just really close to the same height. Let's see. So if we put this ruler here, it's just a tad below it. I mean, it's so close, it could be actually touching, but anyhow, that's another little thing I did here, just to keep the mat in place rather than mess around with some other things that you can do. So I thought you'd like to see it, and that's it on this one. I'm done. Watch for my next video, and watch for this one. Thanks for watching.